All right, boys and girls. So we're here at my teardown bench. The plan is to get these off of their stands and mounted to this. This is the avoidbit pod holder for these. You can fit 8 of these on a rack. I have 6 because I have 5. I ordered 10 of these, so I got 5 of these. You can put 2 per pod, which is pretty sweet. So let's get them tore down. It looks like that's a pretty large Phillips, so we'll just go ahead and use the vessel screwdriver, a little power screwdriver. If you haven't tried one of these, honestly, this is a pretty great screwdriver for the price. But they make some cool ratchets too. We'll take the screws out. And the way I think about these is they run their own OS. It's kind of like a Bitdsk, but not quite. And that's what the back of the board looks like. Pretty sweet. I'm going to be checking for hotspots. I assume it's going to be right here in this area by the charging port. That's your coil, and there's your ESP. So these use a Super Mini C3 ESP. I love that. It just decreases the power usage a little bit more. My understanding, these are like 15 watts, 3 amp is the recommended for your wall plug if you get, if you buy a wall plug for them. I don't think they draw that much power. I highly doubt they do, just because of their lower hash rate. But hey, I'm just as new to this as anybody else, so let's get these screws out. While I can appreciate the stands, they don't look, I don't like the way they look, so that's just not my style. That avoidbit rack looks way cooler in my mind. So now when you're putting these on, this is the top. Where this slot is, it'll sit on the rack like this. So let's go ahead and just take these. And you have the option of which side you want your USB port to be on, there or there. So I'm going to have mine pointing this way. So USB port, opening, set it in there. Same thing with this one. USB port, opening, set it in there. And it comes with these little tiny screws, so I recommend having a pretty nice little screwdriver. Let's get these stands out of the way. I use, obviously, the iFixit. Not a sponsor, but I like their products. It's really good. I actually seen these pop up in an Ace Hardware the other day. It was kind of crazy. I was like, what the hell? iFixit's all the way in my local hardware store now. Anyways, yeah, let's put these little tiny screws in. They're kind of a pain. They're little tiny, so I kind of do that, to capture the screw while I'm putting it in. And I like to just put 2 in 2 and then do the middle ones. The middle ones are going to be a little bit more troublesome because you've got right there the screen and everything. So put 2 in the bottom. The back side's not so bad. This side's not so bad. It's just the ones between the 2 screens there is kind of a troublesome. Put this one in and we'll turn it a little bit like that. Now, I don't predict their thermals are going to be too crazy because when I was running them, they were only running about 48C, at least according to the screen and the software. So, yeah, Bitdsk has their own version of what it looks like Axos, but not quite. Funny thing is though, these will show up on Axos and you can restart them from Axos. So like I have those DTV Electronics Bitdsk 601s going, and I was able to detect these, but it kept saying low frequency, like it was thinking the hash rate was too low. And you're able to restart them with the Axos, so kind of cool. All of us are waiting for Hash Rate Watcher on Android to come out, so that's where we're at. So let's get 2 more in there. I secure every screw because, dude, I don't want it to fall apart. Bounce that little bastard everywhere. So let's grab that, throw it in there. And see what I mean? It's not quite covered by the screen, but it's definitely narrow enough in there. And I've got 4 more of these to do. And that's it. Exposed C port works great. Like I said, you can swap them around if you want. It's 2 per rack or 2 per pod, which is great. Pretty much full access there. I don't think I'd put a heatsink on the coil, but I definitely would on the MOSFET for the coil. And honestly, they run cool enough. I don't even think it's necessary. Maybe consider putting one on the ASIC chip is, but I don't really see a point. I probably will re-thermal paste. A couple of the guys I was talking to on the Jellyfish Coin Discord were saying, hey, the paste is kind of applied crappily, so if you need to, definitely repaste them. But we'll see. The little fans are just a 2-pin fan. It's not a 4-pin PWM. But the connector, if you look there, is a 4-pin connector. So yeah, that's kind of cool. At least you can do a 4-pin with it if you wanted to. If you decide you want to change the fans out, and maybe I will. The cooler is only held on by 2, and then you got the little tiny display there. Your pins right there. But that's it, guys. That's how you put them on the avoidbit pod that goes on the avoidbit bit track rack. Really cool setup, really nice. And I'll take some videos of that too after I get done putting these all together. Anyways, and I plan on individually powering these from a power supply, so it should be pretty cool. I don't feel like having 10 wall warts plugged in, the little socket and plug. I don't have a power strip. I don't think it has 10 of them. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Any comments, questions, concerns, any questions about these? Ask away, man. Yeah. Peace out, guys.